let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about some motivation, some meditation, some inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Let's go ahead and get into that mentality. Let's get into that place. Let's start asking ourselves the questions required. Let's go ahead and see, possibly we might be getting some energy readings done today. We might be getting down with the challenges that we're facing off against, asking ourselves those types of questions. Is it about motivation? Is it about meditation? Is it about inspiration? So, where are you on the spectrum of your mentality? Where are you on the place of writing stuff down? Where are you on putting yourself in a place where you're putting the right things into your system? You're putting the right kind of mentality out there. You're starting to ask yourself these types of questions. Is the reflection radiating outwards what's going on inside? Is it giving you the ability to get down with yourself, to face off against the challenges that you face off against? And so, what kind of mentality are you utilizing? Are you utilizing the tools that you have? Are you asking yourself the question? Are you putting yourself in the place where the energy inside of yourself is starting to flow? The challenges that you're facing off against, you're starting to overcome. The mentality that you're getting into is the ability to be yourself, to face off against the things that you would like to overcome. So you can ultimately become the person that you want to be, the challenges that you want to face off against. And so how do we get ourselves there? How do we start to get to that page? How do we get to the place where we see our lives as a blessing? How do we get to the ability to where we start to sit down and read energy, and we start to recognize that the energy inside of ourselves is important? And so are we allowing ourselves this place? Are we giving ourselves these kind of challenges to where we are giving ourselves the ability to overcome these challenges, where the challenge that you face off against is not against somebody else, it's against yourself, and the ability to overcome the challenges within yourself is that ability. And so as we uplift other people, as we put them in a place where they recognize this, as they start to see the tools that they have inside of themselves, that the blessings that are coming from within are radiating light outwards, that the place inside of you is the mentality that the challenges that you face off against is you, that you can do it, you can achieve it, you can become it. And are we answering this question back that we are blessed? Are we putting ourselves in a place where we're using the capability of being ourselves as an ability, as a challenge to oneself lighting up in this world, as an ability to be who you are on the inside, and having that place inside of you where your foundation is your level of focus? Have you asked yourself the question, how do I get to that place? How do I sit down and start getting the energy to understand how it flows inside of myself, how it flows inside of you, and get down with yourself to that level? Write stuff down, put it in front of you so that you can actually see it in front of you, so that you can actually realize the challenges are nothing but yet a place of focus. They're a place of an ability. They're there for you to overcome. They're there for you to see that you can do it, you can achieve it, you can definitely become focused to that level. And it's from within that it radiates outwards. It's from within that gives you the ability to recognize that you have the tools inside of yourself. And so when we start to get to that kind of mentality, we start to get to that kind of place, we start to get to that ability inside of ourselves to radiate light, to radiate as a tool in the universe. The universe is ultimately going to test you. The universe is ultimately going to start asking you the question that you wouldn't want to ask yourself. Is it me? And so as we recognize that place, as we give ourselves that kind of permission, as we give ourselves that kind of challenge, the foundation starts to lay itself down. The ability to put the stuff in front of you that you want to manifest, the ability to become that tool, to have that place, to have that purpose starts to become yours. And so some of these tools, such as getting understanding of how the energy flows inside. You know, we give energy readings. We have the ability, you can also get a personal energy reading here. And so how do we get to that place where when we're doing an energy reading, it's personal to you. How do we start to understand which type of energy you actually have flowing inside of yourself? Have you taken the time for yourself to understand you? Have you recognized how to utilize your strengths inside of you so that you can overcome the challenges that you're facing off against with the strengths that you have? Are you with you on this journey? Are you with you on this path? Are you going through the challenges that are required to be who you truly are? And so when we recognize this, when we give ourselves this place, when we allow the reflection to come from our mentality, we allow the ability from within ourselves to light up in this universe, we allow this universe to start to be used as a tool, we start to see that the tool is you. We start to ask ourselves these types of questions. How can I use the tools that I have? How can I get on the track path? How can I get to the place where the energy inside starts to flow? And so a lot of people are come to me asking for energy. And so they're looking for that ability to see the tools that are in each of us. And each of us have different tools. Each of us have different gifts. Some of us are great at singing. Some of us are great at caring. Some of us are great at the ability to direct. There's many different places that this universe has the ability to utilize you. It's up to you to get down with yourself and to start studying that to the point where you see the blessings that you have and the people that are in your life that are those blessings. And so as you see your own self succeed, as you see your own self fail, as you see your failures and your successes moving you in such a direction, are you putting them in front of yourself? Are you studying? Are you giving yourself the ability where failures are becoming successes, where at midnight you're doing an energy reading, at 6 o'clock in the morning you're coaching, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon you're doing a motivational video, the time is important. Your time is valuable. Your ability to use your effectiveness, to use yourself, to use the understanding that you are a blessing in the universe is definitely important. To allow ourselves to have that kind of timing, to have that kind of uplifting, that those people that are actually listening to these type of things are understanding that you're out there for them. You're uplifting them. They might have had a difficult day. They might have had a place where, they might have had to face off against challenges that you might not have had to. And so we all have those days. We all have those days that are going to be difficult. And so those people that are going to be next to us, they're going to be next to us no matter what. They're going to care about you. They're going to be in that place. And so what you got to focus is on yourself. You have to focus on the ability to be who you are on the inside. You have to allow yourself to see that beauty shine outwards. You have to let that energy flow with such a radiance that the light radiates outwards, that you see that you are beautiful, that you see that you are a light in this universe, that the tools that you have, the abilities that you have inside of yourself uplift the people not just around you, but also yourself. When are you uplifting you? When are you getting down with the challenges that you're facing off against? You're asking yourself the question, how do I overcome my challenges? How do I see what's positive in my direction? How do I allow the things that are moving in my direction the place where they're meant to be, where the ability inside of themselves is the blessing, that the tools in the universe can utilize what you have, what I have, the ability inside of ourselves to be who we are. And so that requires a special type of mentality. That requires a special place within yourself. That requires understanding the energy and how it flows inside of yourself. You can reach out to me for personal readings. You can reach out to me to do them over Periscope. Now, personal reading is generally about a $25 reading. I also teach meditation. I also teach mentoring. So connecting with the ability to get yourself moving in that manifesting state, to get yourself in the ability to be in that place with yourself. And so you can contact me now or you can contact me later. But understanding the energy inside of yourself is very important. Understanding how to use it is even more important. And so not a lot of people out there can read energy. Not a lot of people have the ability to understand and explain to you how to use those things to your positivity. And so there's times when people are calling in by the numbers. They're there listening and hearing what I'm saying. And I'm here to uplift you. I'm here for you to understand that you can overcome your challenges in the place that you are, the challenges that you're going through, the ability inside of yourself to focus to that place where the things that are not meant for you move out of the way on their own. You got to allow them to. You got to put yourself in a place where it's a blessing to be on your journey. It's a blessing to be on your path. It's a blessing to be going through these kind of challenges so that you could get to the place where you want to go. And so a lot of times people stop themselves at that point. They stop themselves when they stop giving themselves permission to be themselves. They stop giving themselves permission to see the blessings. They stop giving themselves permission to face off against the challenges that they have going on. And so how do we get to that place? How do we sit down with ourselves to that level? How do you get down to the point where you write stuff down, where you truly put it in front of yourself? A lot of people ask me, they want to learn from me, they want to sit down with me, and I'm hard on them, not because I don't care. I'm hard on them because I believe in them. And so when you believe in yourself and you believe in other people, the thing that you're facing off against is not somebody else. You're facing off against yourself. You're facing off against the person that you are inside. You got to ask yourself the question, how can I overcome these kind of challenges? How can I see the reflection? How can I let it focus past the pain, which is a teacher? How I can allow it to focus past the emotion, which is a teacher? How can I let it focus past the fear, which is a teacher? How do we get to that place where this student starts the process, where this student inside has the place, where the student inside has the ability to be able to be oneself, to allow ourselves that kind of place to where the mentality has that kind of foundation, where it has that kind of ability. And so a lot of times we might find ourselves in a place where we're looking and we're seeing it. And so if we allow ourselves to continue with the mentality, we can get to that place. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the ability that you can do it, that you can achieve it. And so as we create that kind of foundation, as we allow that process to start, as we allow that place to begin, like I was saying, the ability to be in a place of focus is creating the groundwork. And so every single day that we wake up, every single day that we breathe a breath, every single day that we get to that place where we start to put this stuff in front of ourselves, where we start to see beyond our own two eyes, but we see to the place where the mentality has an ability to have a positive and negative effects in the universe, where we actually have the ability to recognize that we have a journey, we have a path, we have a purpose, that ability to get to that place to face off against those kinds of challenges, because you're going to face off against things that are going to ask you the question, do you have what it takes? And so it's up to you to be honest with yourself. You can never be the best copycat, but you can always be the best you. So you got to get down with yourself to write down these things in front of you. You got to put them in a place where when you're facing off against them, you have the ability to face off and to challenge and to overcome them. And so are you putting yourself in that place? Are you writing this stuff down? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you putting yourself in a place where you're allowing yourself to be that student, where you actually sit down with a process that's manifesting, that the reflection is nothing less than a manifestation? And so in that place is where we start. In that place is where the mentality starts to have the ability. In that place is where the ability inside of ourselves starts to radiate. And a lot of people like to call this place the place of focus, the place of challenge, the place of facing off against oneself. And in that place, you start the page of freedom. You start the page that others wouldn't start for you. You start to get down with who you are. You start to recognize that you are a blessing in this universe. If you don't get to that page for yourself and you're easy on you, then nobody else will be hard on you. You won't allow yourself to get to that place. And it's not for somebody else. It's not for somebody else to get there. It's up for you. Nobody else can truly do that for you in here. Nobody can truly get to that place where what's going on around you is coming from inside of your mind. And so you have to recognize that the tools that you have, the abilities inside of yourself, the challenges that you face off against on a daily basis are blessings. Are you seeing that the student must learn inside? The ability to be that student, to have that place, has got to start outside. It's got to start outside. And a lot of people have crushed themselves. A lot of people have put themselves in a place where they feel everything around them is more powerful than what's inside. And I'm here to tell you it's not. This universe was created by the Most High God as you as a process, as an ability to use that level of focus to create that level of foundation. And so, how do we start putting that mentality in that way? How do we start asking ourselves those types of questions? And so, where do we start? Do you start by writing stuff down? Do you start by giving yourself the ability to see positivity and that the reflection is coming as that ability? And that there has got to be positivity and negativity to bring you in a positive direction, to bring you towards a positive ability, to bring you towards a positive change, which is the truth of yourself is you. That person inside of you is the ability to be that kind of blessing. And a lot of times people don't ask themselves these types of questions. And so when they face off against them, they don't identify. And sometimes when they don't see that, they don't give themselves that place. It might be a day where a dish comes crashing down and you have to look back at it and see that the day before was positive. The ability before was able. The ability to overcome the challenges, to see that there are going to be potholes. There are going to be things that are going to have to be overcome. There are going to be challenges. And it's up to you to write your plan. It's up to you to write your goals. It's up to you to write your ability to see the positivity and the negativity. If there's one person on the face of the planet that you got to be honest to, it's yourself. You have got to be honest to yourself. You got to put it down in front of you so you can get down with those challenges. So you can become that light in the universe. So you can bless with the things and the gifts that you have, the ability inside of yourself to light up this world. And a lot of us have a lot of great energy. A lot of us have a lot of great abilities. A lot of us have a lot of great challenges. And the ability to see that they're positive, the ability to see that they're there for you, that they're absolutely there for you to free yourself, that when you are going through this journey, which you started by yourself, there might have been people who are there to help you, but you started your journey, you started your path, you started your ability to start on your light, the light which is inside of you. The light that's inside of you is your path, it's your journey. The ability to think the thoughts that you think, to get to the places where you want to go, to face off against the challenges that you want to face off against, is ultimately going to be up to you. And nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to hold your hand. Nobody else is going to tell you, do this. And if you find that type of people in your life that actually are there to truly uplift you, that are truly there to elevate your mind, you better hold on to them, because those types of people are there and they only come once in a life. When you find that kind of blessing, when you find that kind of place, recognize they're also going to have their own challenges. And so as you face off and as you find your path, your journey, your ability inside of yourself, and as others join you on your journey, never forget your own journey. Never forget your own path. Never forget your own ability. Never forget your own lights. And so what does it take to get to that level? Are you putting yourself in that place where what you are listening to, what you are reading, what you're putting in front of yourself is putting you in a direction to identify your path, your journey, your purpose? And so how do you get to that place? Are you giving yourself ability to write twice a day? Are you writing when you're waking up? Are you writing at night? Are you reading things that are putting your mind in a place where the mentality? Are you listening to things at night that are allowing you to have that kind of mentality where the process is continuing within yourself? Are you planning your month? Are you planning your ability to face off against the challenges and writing them down in front of yourself so you have the ability to overcome the challenges? And so a lot of times that is the thing that we're missing. A lot of times that is the place to start. A lot of times that is the place to get the understanding of the energy inside of ourselves, to get to that pace where we start to get it moving from outside, where it stops crushing you, where it stops having the ability to stop you from going from the process to mastering the process, from the ability from outside to be from within out, to have the place of mentality where the able mentality has the ability to go inwards to that point where it manifests on the outside. And that is a place where a lot of people stop themselves. There's a lot of people who derail their ability to use their gifts There's a lot of people who derail their mentality. They derail the ability to get down with themselves. They derail the ability to get to that challenge. They derail their ability to have that kind of mentality. Are you asking yourself these types of questions? How do you get there? That's the page to start getting on. That's the challenge to start getting through. That's the ability to be a blessing in the universe. And so, are you seeing beyond your own two eyes to your own journey, to be within yourself from the manifestation of the process radiating outwards, from the ability from within out, to no longer crush yourself, but to master your day, to master your hour, to master your week, to master your companionship, to master your ability to understand that every challenge you face off against is a blessing. Every challenge you face off against is an ability. Everything that you go through is there for you. It's there for you to overcome. It's there for you to see the challenge in front of yourself as an ability, to have a mentality to where you can focus past those things, that they only last so long. When you focus past the pain, the ability to feel achieved becomes, when you focus past the fear, the liberation of freedom from that begins. When you focus past the ability to get through those kinds of challenges, when you give yourself that kind of place,
after the sun sets.
It's there for you. It's within you. It's with you. And so, are you giving yourself that ability? Are you giving yourself that place? Are you facing off against those kinds of challenges on a daily basis with the ability to be honest to yourself? And so, are you seeing the positive and the negatives and moving towards the positivity? Are you putting yourself in a place where you are a light in the universe? You are a light on your path. You are a light on your journey. The manifestation starts to radiate light. The manifestation starts to become from within out. And the only way to get there is to start to study you, to start to study yourself, to start to study your positive patterns and your negative patterns, and to start to turn them towards positivity, and to take yourself out of places that aren't meant for you, out of things that are not meant for you, to allow those people and those places inside of yourself to light up in this world. For you to see this kind of blessing is for you to recognize that you are a blessing. You have to recognize that you can do it, you can achieve it, you can become it. And the only person that you have to recognize you can master is yourself. When you master this thing, when you give yourself that kind of permission, where it's not about good or bad, it's about positive and negative forces in the universe working in such a way that you allow the process to work through you. What a blessing it is. What a blessing it is to get down with the energy to that level. What a blessing it is to understand that we are just yet but tools in the universe, that the universe has the ability to use the tools that you have and to bless you with the ability to use those to the place where the manifestation can radiate light outwards. Are we doing this for ourselves? Are we getting to this place within? Are we getting to the ability to face off against these kinds of challenges? That is where we have to start asking ourselves these types of questions. Is this type of thing that I'm doing, is this type of place moving me in a positive direction? Is it moving me towards the things that are bringing light towards me? Are the things that are happening in my day there for me? Are the ability inside of myself a reflection outwards with a radiating light? And so as we focus to that place, we start to heat up the universe. As the universe starts to heat up, it starts to want to go inwards. It starts to want to use that as an inward study. It starts to put those challenges in front of you so you can see the positivity in them. It starts to ask you, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get through this? And it's up to you to see that you can do it, that you can focus towards positivity, that you can put yourself in that kind of a place where the ability inside of yourself starts to radiate that kind of light. And it's within this ability that the permission within oneself starts. It's within this ability, the permission within oneself starts to see that past this journey is important, that your path is important, your journey is important, your blessings are important, your ability to be who you truly are on inside, the light inside of you is important. And so as we see this for ourselves, as we recognize this, Don't run from them. Run to them. Run towards the challenges in a positive way. Look for the way to overcome the challenges with the mentality that the reflection that's radiating outwards is the ability to overcome the challenges. And so sometimes even the teacher of pain is patience. When you recognize that if you give yourself patience to overcome those things, if you give yourself patience, you will overcome those challenges. And so as we focus to that place, that's where the teacher starts to show up. The teacher starts to show up when the true student starts to become patient, when the true student starts to get down with the challenges. As the true student starts to have patience with themselves, to be in that kind of a place to overcome those kind of challenge, the lesson and the reason why that challenge came in the first place starts to show up. The story inside starts to happen. The universe starts to ask you, is this what you want? Can you do this for yourself? Can you achieve this within you? And it's up to you to ask yourself that type of question. It's up to you to ask yourself, what is it going to take to get there for me and for you? Are you asking yourself this type of question on a daily basis? Are you asking yourself this type of question on a weekly basis? Are you putting yourself in a place where you are so focused that the challenges that you're facing off against, you're overcoming? The ability to be honest with yourself and to face off against these types of things have the ability to be overcome. The light inside of yourself is a radiating light. Do you see how blessed you are? Do you see that you are a tool in this universe, that the tools that you have are sufficient? The ability to be who you are on the inside is this. The ability to face off against this, the ability to challenge this, the ability to face those type of things head on, to say you can do it, you can achieve it, you can become it, that you are truly a light in this universe. Are you using your tools? Are you listening to things in such a way that those tools are working through you? Are you seeing the reflection radiate outwards? Are other people seeing that within yourself? Are other people recognizing that you are a manifester of light in this universe, that you are so focused that you're not surprised in the results? Are you on that page, or are you running on an autopilot where everything is just luck? Are you allowing the manifestation from within to become a radiating light? Are you giving yourself permission to be you? Are you giving yourself permission to face off against your own challenges, to find the way to be who you are on the inside? Are you blessed in your day in that way? Are you blessed in your day in your ability? Are you blessed in your day and your ability to overcome your challenges to the point where the light starts to radiate outwards? And so where do you start to get there? When do you start to get there? How do you start to get there? Unless you study you, unless you put time down for you, unless you recognize you are important, unless you see that you are a blessing and that you can use the blessings that you have, you can use the light that you have, you can use the challenges that you have, you can use the ability that who you are inside is absolutely a blessing in this universe, because you are. You are a son and daughter of the Most High. You are a infinite tool in the universe. You have blessings when you focus to that level, when you give yourself permission to be you, when you give yourself permission to shine with the light inside of you, when you give yourself permission to see that elevating to a place of focus is a blessing. Elevating to a place of bypassing the challenges that we face off against is a blessing. And how do we start to ask these types of questions? Are you asking yourself these types of questions on a daily basis? As Steve Jobs said, when we look in the mirror too many days in a row and we don't see what we like, we know something must change. And so as we do this in such a way that we start to throw it towards the process of itself, as we start to get to the place where we are overcoming those things, those people that are meant for you will move in your direction. Those blessings meant for you will start to be in your way. The blessings will start to fill it in, and the negativity has no place but to go out, because for each action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if you recognize this, then you start to see that you are a blessing. You are absolutely a blessing. You have the ability to do it. You have the ability to achieve it. You have the ability to overcome it. And so at that point, we start to head inwards. At that point, we start to head towards the place of self-study. As we head inwards, we start to recognize that your energy is super important. That as that energy heats up in the universe, as that place inside starts to hit levels where manifestation starts, where manifestation goes within, where manifestation becomes the ability to face off against you, you start to see that you within are a student. You within are an ability. You within have the ability to use the tools that you have, so you could start to extract that process. So you can start to be that student and start opening up those books so that you can have that place to use the tools that you have, the abilities you have inside of yourself, the abilities that are only within you, that you only know for yourself, that those things, when you do those things, those specific things that you do for yourself, that this universe needs you. The light inside of you starts to radiate. The light inside of you starts to light up. The light inside of you starts to become an ability to where others see the light inside of themselves. And so as you start to head inwards, recognize that you are a student of your life. You are a student of your path. You are a student of your journey. Your ability to be on this page with you, your ability to get down with those kind of challenges, your ability to see that you can do it, it's ultimately going to be up to you. It's ultimately going to be within you. It's ultimately going to be there for you. And so are you giving yourself that kind of permission to become a student of your life, to become a student of your path, to become a student of your journey? And it's not always going to be easy. And sometimes the closest people to you are not the people that you need near you. Sometimes you have to recognize that truly being within is to understand that you are a blessing. Truly being within is to understand that the best friend is from within. The best friend is the ability to know oneself. The best friend is the ability to read oneself. The best friend is the ability to understand from within oneself. We have the ability to start to get to that page where those tools start to work, where that tool starts to become manifested from the light from within you. And so as we go from within ourselves, we start to see these types of things. And I have a question. And yes, this is definitely, so this is a very, very important piece. As you head through the process, and Lola, I'm going to answer your question. This was a question on, or an answer on Facebook. And so as you focus on you, as you focus on your path, as you focus on your journey, as you give yourself that ability, that person that is not you will die. That person inside of you will become so much of you that you find yourself in a place of selflessness. And so as you allow that process to start, then we start to see the beauty from within. So like Lola, you can actually reach out to me to get an energy reading done there. I have all of my prices on there. I've been teaching meditation for nearly a decade. I've been doing meditation myself for nearly a decade. And I've gone through multiple students, helping people out to achieve that for themselves, as well as doing mentoring, as well as working through the process that I'm talking about right now. And so all of those abilities and those tools and those tasks, they're there. So for those people that are searching for them, my website is motivationmeditationinspiration.yoga. And the reason why I chose this name is because when we are focused, when we are knowledge, then we have a centering of a place within oneself called discipline. As we center ourselves, the reflection becomes that as inspiration. And so motivation, meditation, inspiration is a question we ask ourselves on a daily basis. An ability to get to that level of achieving within oneself on a daily basis, to where the light inside the study of oneself becomes a radiating light outwards. And as this knowledge starts to be heated up inside of yourself, as the energy inside starts to flow, as the challenges and as the ability to start to wake up that you are sufficient within knowledge, within the seed, within yourself, the ability to start to open that up, to overcome the pains, to overcome the fears, to overcome the challenges that you face off against, because you are greater than your challenges. You are a blessing within your universe. You are on a path of your own that you started for yourself, that you are going through with you. As you see that kind of blessing in this world, you will start to see the things that are not meant for you to fall aside. And so at a certain point, one must want to live so much that the old self dies. And at this point, all you have is you. All you have is less. Selflessness. You have selflessness and self-study. You have self-understanding. You have self-ability. You have self-challenges. You have self-overcoming from a positive aspect, from a positive angle. When we look at the word focus on Wikipedia, and this is the Wikipedia quote, focus is a lens. How you focus through your eyes, how you focus through your perspective is up to you. Are you looking from the positive perspective? Are you looking from the positive place within where the light starts to radiate in that kind of place, where you can see the challenges that you've gone through, the things that you've gone through within yourself open up so you can overcome them, so you can free yourself from the things that stop you from standing your ground, from the things that stop you in a way of worry, from the things that stop you from understanding your heart, being able to voice your heart, from the ability to understand your ability to voice yourself, your depth perception, your nervous system, elevating through the process from within oneself to understand the challenges that we face off against is daily work. It's an ability to use all the things around us as a self-study, as an ability to be who we are, to face off against these types of places is absolutely a blessing. It's absolutely a recognizing that you have the ability to light up this world in such a way that the growth inside of you can see that you are sufficient from within you. When you recognize that your knowledge, your life, your journey, your pages are there waiting for you. They're waiting for you to open them up so you can overcome those kinds of challenges, so that you can get to that place, so that you can see, you can remember that you can also overcome. And so when we get to that place where we have that kind of light radiating within ourselves, we start to understand these type of challenges are just yet but a surface. What goes on within is the ability to overcome the challenges. And so at a able mentality, the tools that are required to get to that place, to get to those kind of challenges, come from a foundation of mentality, to mean that you are a student in that ability to start to open up those pages, to get down with yourself to that place. And a lot of times we want to stay stuck on page 1 when we're actually on page 2 reading page 1 still. So how do we get to page 2? How do we get to page 3? How do we get to chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7, which is the energy within you, within the understanding from within you, from within the understanding from within you are simply you. And within this place, we utilize it to that level. Within this place of understanding, from within that process, we start to get to the place where we start to use the energy from within ourselves to overcome our own challenges. This means you can overcome fear. This means you can overcome emotion. This means that you can overcome the things that are not meant for you, so the things that are meant for you can move in your own direction. And so as we put ourselves in that place, as we give ourselves that kind of permission, the expansion of knowledge within oneself starts to light up. The understanding that we are sufficient, that this thing, that you, that I, that everybody on the face of the planet is a blessing. starts to radiate with that kind of knowledge, starts to radiate with that kind of light. And as we search for the light in this universe, in the positivity, in the ability, in the relation with the Most High, with the blessings that have been used throughout time, and the masters throughout time have been able to open the gates of heaven, have able to achieve levels of meditation where others weren't willing to go. As we see these stories, as we see these abilities, as we understand that even Jesus Christ meditated, even the ability to understand that there was a reason for that fasting in the desert, that there was a reason for all of these purposes within ourselves to light up this world. What a blessing it is. Even biblically is written that the golden light to the north, as we see the three kings that went to go to sea, as we see these things for ourselves, as we see the light is sufficient within oneself, that the beauty, that the breadth, that the simplicity has the ability to go from within, the process of becoming that teacher of your life starts. That expansion, that blessing that you are in this universe, that kind of light can light up in this world, that kind of being has that ability to give themselves the permission to overcome their own challenges with using the tools from within themselves. That is why people come to me. So as they connect with that, as they understand that, they start to get down with whichever place or being is within the process of oneself. Elevation is like a mountain. You have altitude and latitude. Which pages are you on? Which chapters are you on? Are you on the study of oneself to that place where you're understanding? Are you at the place where you can open your eyes and continue to meditate, where the vocals have the ability to work through you? The energy can flow at command. Are you at the place where the process is being held? So where are you in that place of meditation? Where are you on that process? Can you walk in meditation? Can you live in meditation? Can you wake up and take cold showers because the energy from within is sufficient? Can you put those things in such a place that you understand you, where you are that kind of process, where you are that kind of blessing, where those types of challenges have the ability for you to overcome? And within this classroom is what's important to the radiating light outwards. Within your classroom, what's radiating outwards is what's important. And as we radiate from positivity, that the knowledge within oneself is there, we start to hit a place of discipline where focus and knowledge centers oneself within the classroom. And so as we recognize the incoming breath as a mastery, as we understand the classroom as the still breath, and as we understand the knowledge as the outgoing breath, where are you on the line of connection? Where are you on the place of discipline? Can you open your eyes and continue? Can you close your eyes and start? Can you put yourself as the student inside the process? Can you teach from the place from within oneself to overcome those challenges, to have patience in observation, to have patience within oneself through the cloud of discernment, to have patience so that when you go around the corner within yourself, you recognize it is there for you. It is within you. It is for you to overcome. As we see these kind of blessings, as we see these kind of fogs in front of ourselves, that light inside starts to light up. And so as your focus and your knowledge becomes connected, as you center yourself inside of your classroom, into your path, into your journey, we remember once again it's simple. The simplicity of your breath, it's simplicity of your classroom, it's simplicity of your journey, it's simplicity of your process, it's simplicity of your own mastery. To master the one, that the universe and the Most High can work through you, is the process. To master the energy from within oneself to that level, from within oneself, to radiate with that kind of light, where other people see your place of discipline as a light to uplift them, that they become lighter by recognizing that you are you, that you have nothing else but yourself. You are simply less than anything else is you. And so as we become that and we stop trying to become selfish, and we start to become selfless. We start to see the beauty. We start to become grateful for the things that we have. We start to recognize that there are so many blessings, that even the simplicity of our breath is a blessing. And so are we there with ourselves to where we have permission to go through our own journey on that page? Are we on that page with ourselves to that level? Are we going through this in such a way that the Most High is working through you and the process is uplifting you by people just being around you? Or are we not? And so as we get to that place of discipline, as we get to that place on that journey, onto that path, onto that ability, that's when people start to seek you out. That's when people start to ask you the question, how can you do that? How can you get there? Because when other people see you disciplined within yourself, when other people start to see you teaching them how to focus, when you start to see you going from within yourself to create that kind of light, to create that kind of centering, the purpose of being from within becomes a light. There's no need to leave this thing as the process continues to the path and the journey until the page where you give yourself the permission to go beyond, to expand past, to get to the place where the light inside radiates beyond this being. And so are we giving ourselves these kinds of permission? Are we giving ourselves these kind of place? Are we getting to that place from within? We go within. Are we getting to that place where the energy has the ability to flow, where you can bypass the challenges, where you can constantly learn from yourself, where you can constantly grow, where you can constantly be grateful for the things that you have, and to see the simplicity of your life as you? When you see that blessing, when you see that the Most High loves you, and I mean it not in a word of emotion, I mean it in a level of care. I mean it in a level of care to the point where you see that you are a light in this universe. I mean it to the level of care where the reflection radiates from your level of focus and your knowledge, where it goes beyond emotion, where it goes to the place of understanding, the place of being, the place of you. As you see that light up, as you see that ability inside of yourself grow, as you see that ability light up the people around you, and you see it for you, that is when you radiate a light of inspiration. When your whole being is connected, your whole being, your focus and your knowledge is centered inside of your classroom. When you no longer need to leave this thing, when this thing becomes a blessing, this process becomes a blessing, these challenges become a blessing. The ability to be who you are is this. The ability to be who you are is within you. The ability to be where you are is for you. Do you see that? Are you grateful for it? Are you grateful to go through it? Are you grateful to have this light, which is you? And I want you to know that you are a very special being upon the face of the planet. That you are a very special light in this universe. And that you can do it. You can achieve it for yourself. You can free yourself from the challenges that you face off against. Once you go inwards, once you recognize that you are sufficient from within you, as you see that for you, as you become that for you, then the light starts to happen. And so what else happens is that when we recognize that even the emotion of blushing, the simplicity of even an emotion can be turned on, that the light can radiate to that level. It goes beyond this. It goes to the place where the energy within ourselves is there for others. Where when you walk places, the other people around you light up. When they see that you are such a level of care, that they are cared for by you being yourself. As we become sufficient in energy from within, as we give ourselves that kind of understanding, as we give ourselves that kind of permission, the world becomes a lighter place. The world becomes a greater being. The world becomes an ability for you to start to understand your purpose upon the face of the planet. And as you see the blessing of the Most High working through you, as you see that process working for you, as you see the ability for you, as you see the blessings that you are and a light source within this being, within your challenges, then you start to see the purpose of becoming that kind of light. And it requires your whole being to get there. It requires your focus and your knowledge to radiate with that kind of light, to radiate with that kind of process, to get to that place inside of oneself where the being has the ability to manifest this. And it's a purpose is inspiration. A purpose is an ability to radiate a light where others see inspiration coming from within your journey, your path, and only you could be on your path. Only you can be on your journey. It is within that page that you become a tool within the universe. It is within that page that we have seen the Pelés, the Michael Phelps, the Michael Jacksons. It is within that page that we have seen the Johnny Cash. It is within that page that we have seen the writers, the authors, the singers. It is within that page that the light inside radiates to a level where the process is you. Are you giving yourself permission for that page? This is the process of the journey. This is the process of the path. As one of my friends transcended, even a blessing is a purpose. Even a possibility of leaving one with a blessing is a purpose. Even the ability to go within oneself as that kind of light, to have that kind of transfiguration where the light inside of you radiates to the level where others heal from just being around you. That level of using your whole being, your whole energy to that level where others light up, where you could see the energy from within themselves, where you could see the process is the ability to be who you are, to be that kind of blessing where knowledge and focus has a centering within oneself, where knowledge and focus has the ability for you to see that. And as I meditated yesterday, actually 2 days ago, as I sat down and did meditation, I started to recognize the purpose of the green energy field. The purpose of the green energy field is that it's the planets. And those people from within the planet that radiate from this kind of light understand the equator, the splitting of the upper and the lower chambers of the heart. And as it spins from within, as the mastery of the different energy fields from within oneself start to grow within the knowledge of sufficiency, that they're each individually important, that the heat is within, that the orange energy from within, that the yellow energy from within, that the green energy from within, that the lotus from within is the patience within oneself. When we start to understand that we are centered within that knowledge, within that place, to access that level of understanding, of knowledge and focus, to center oneself to that place, requires patience with yourself, requires time with you, requires the ability to not give up on yourself. And so as you give yourself that, it's when other people see you as a reflection. Other people see you as a reflection of light. Other people see you as a reflection of blessing. Other people see that you can and you will achieve your dreams, your goals, your ability inside of yourself. And it's up to you to get there for you. Nobody else will do it for you. Nobody else can do it for you because they're not inside of you. They're not going through the challenges that you go through, so you can center yourself so that you can be a tool within the universe. And as students start to come to me, which they do, and as people start to seek out that kind of process, they start to seek out that kind of path, I say blessings to them with the years that they've had alive. I say blessings to them as they go on their journey, as they push themselves for their dreams, for their goals, for their ability to center themselves, so we can see the beauty of you on the face of the planet, so we can see the prosperity from within you, that the tools within the universe can work from within you, that the inspiration from within you can light up this world, because you are meant to light up this world in a way nobody else could. You're meant to go through your path, your journey, to become that kind of teacher of your life. and nobody else is going to have your life. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So gain that knowledge and gain that focus and center from within. Center within the process. Be within you. Be within your challenges. Be within your purpose. Be within your journey. And remember, your journey is worth it. Your journey is there for you to see that you are that kind of blessing, that you are that kind of path, that you are that kind of journey. And so as we see this for every living being, as we see this for ourselves and we master this, we see the beauty within the universe. We see the ability from within ourselves to light up this world. And as your focus and knowledge becomes that place of center, as it becomes that kind of light and that kind of energy, you start to recognize that you are yet but a process. You are yet but a journey. You are yet but simple as a path. And so as we head inwards, as the knowledge from within ourselves becomes this place, as the knowledge from within ourselves becomes this level of understanding, others start to seek you out. Others start to seek out those masters from within the universe. They seek out those people from within this journey because there is a purpose for each individual. There is a path for each individual. There is a journey for each individual. And as meditation is a martial arts, it is also a whole entire being. Understanding the energy from within, understanding your tools, your purpose, your path, your journey is this form of blessing. It is this form of you. It is this form of your own form of light. This is your own understanding of the energy fields within yourself to reach that kind of place. And I want you to know, Lola, the question I was asked, who is your mentor or teacher? You're looking at them. I sat by myself. I want to inspire you. I was sleeping in my van for 2 months, meditating, washing all of my clothes, sitting inside a sauna, meditating. I spent years meditating before I decided to start teaching. And so you are looking at that. You are looking at that process. You are looking at that path. You are looking at that person who decided to sit down with themselves to the point where they were going to overcome their own challenges. You are looking at that person who recognized that the best friend comes from within. That when you love others more than you love yourself, this means you do not know you. And so when you find yourself and you find your patience from within yourself and you find your path within you, you start to see that you are sufficient. And so we are both the student and the teacher of our own lives. And those people who seek out me for that thing that you're talking about right there, mentoring and teaching, of meditation, of energy, to learn how to understand your own energy, to get to the place where you're writing stuff down and putting it down in a positive way, to become a student in your own life. It starts with you. It starts from within you. It starts from your ability inside of yourself, because nobody else will do that for you. And so as I progressed to the point where I realized, and I did 7 energy readings one night, they told me that I should start, and the universe said, okay. I said, okay, universe, let's do it. And so at a certain point, we have to recognize that the student and the teacher are both learning at the same time. And so both are important. Are we the best students of our own life? Are we the best on our journey? Are we going through our challenges? Are we getting back up when we're facing off against challenges? Are we finding the place inside of ourselves where we're pressing past the pain, past the fear, to the place where knowledge and focus is so centered that the light radiates from within outwards? And so my ultimate journey is to follow this journey to the place where knowledge and focus hits the center from within oneself, that I might inspire you from that light source, that you would identify this is an inspiration for you, that you would become uplifted to the place where the inspiration from within would lighten your day. It means that if you are in a dark place, this is for you. It means that if you are in a place where you're not believing in yourself, this is for you. It means that you all are blessings. And if you are hearing this message, I want you to see that you are a blessing within this universe. And as I close this, You are welcome to connect with me, Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. And I want to leave you all with blessings as always. And I want to say blessings, 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 and namaste.